Well, government is considering mass burial for victims of the Monday Kintampo Highway accident. 27 persons, I beg your pardon, were burnt beyond recognition. The MCE for Kintampo is proposing mass burial for the charred bodies. He's, however, worried about legal issues that may come up if the families came forward later. Municipal Chief Executive of the area, Michael Sarkodie Bafo, spoke to JoyNews.
Any option, except to maybe find out from the medical people if they have a way by which we can decipher one body from the other. Otherwise, we will have no option left to us than to, visit what happened, unfortunately, last year. Mass burial. It's quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. We will have to work together. All the agencies.
Does such situation bring burden on you as as municipal, as districts?
Seriously. This, as you have seen, occurred within my jurisdiction. And so I have a responsibility to ensure that the bodies are kept well, pending preparation for whatever form of burial that we have to undertake, whether mass or whatever. We also have some legal issues involved here. We don't want to do things and later on family members of the deceased will come with lawsuits and all that. That why did you do ABC? So I'm sure that the police will do the needful.
Well, here are some details that we can share with you, considering or regarding the passengers on board the U-turn bus. There were 7 passengers on board from Boko. The 7 included a driver and a conductor. 3 women, a man and a girl. The girl was traveling with one of the women. Both were from Putinga in Burkina Faso. It is believed that they were Burkina-based. Now, the man alighted at Tamale. As we saw on that bus, some tomatoes and green pepper belonged to the women who were also on board. Before the bus left Boko for Techiman, 10 more people or so joined the bus from Garu. They wanted to join, but the driver refused. Well, reason he could only allow them if part of the vegetables were offloaded. So the 10 people could not get on board. So the passengers had to sleep over in Boku and continue their journey today. So these are persons who were left because they could not join this bus. But on his way, the driver was said to have taken 5 more passengers, left 10 behind, but picked up 5 on the way. All the 3 women survived the accident. Unfortunately, the girl and driver died. It is a bit difficult to know or identify those who join along the way on that journey. So only 2 people who left Boko on board died in the accident. My colleague Kojayang Singh spoke to the station master of the transport yard where the bus had taken off from. He revealed the driver had overworked before that fateful trip. We've got details of that a bit later on in this bulletin. But one of the survivors, a pregnant woman, spoke to Erastus Asari Donko Monday, giving details that corroborate information from the station master.
U-turn bus. So she said she was in the U-turn bus. I didn't see before say car and be accident. No, dear now whom.
Tama car and be accident. Na me ti driver ne seat me sanso. Nti me kita akwada. Na boy bi so temi ncha na boa me na akwada no.
Akwala no wadi mfie say.
Oh, 12 years. Nti tama akwada no die na boy na ji na mama. Nti tama jana to car no na me ndaye nso se na akwada no me ntumi mpaja no. Sana hit wom no mantumi ma yesa mantumi boy na okita akwara no akam akwara no so akam.
So she's telling me that she was seated on the same lane with the driver, and when the accident occurred, she was holding a 12-year-old girl. She couldn't pick the girl because the flames were so intense the heat was so much he couldn't pick the girl, and then the guy who was helping her, the guy is also dead, and so she couldn't do anything. Emra, before this accident in the Bissino, uhu near Corso.
I try.
Then accident nearby.
I buy a night to say driver no wada. Until driver no free new crime. Until 207 no, I had to say over quack fat and good coin. Oh, no, bass no, I want to see. Until time I see and a horse over was in Nipa doors of pub because being moved that say window nano sa. And your doors are a bit me be brain so you endorse.
A Pimsano. Diana, a talk or two, Diana.
Not get a woman, I don't know to me a pie glass, Monty glass, in time on a yen, I would thought from. And theatre from Yeno. Cat be bracing, ye Gina, one Gina. Obiazo knew a boy on.
So I'm not Nipaneshi.
Then Nipan Mosi, or more Tiamu, 207 no, who send a man for Tiamu.
So she says that after he said the driver was sleeping actually, and so he veered off his lane into the Sprinter bus's lane. The Sprinter bus tried to swerve into the bush, but that is where the bus was also headed. So it was a head-on collision. After the collision, he said many of them were lying by the windows. There was one girl who was able to crack open one of the windows, and so that is where they passed through to come out of the vehicle. But I asked her what was happening in the vehicle. She said it was burning, and the people in the Sprinter bus were crying for help. And she was just telling me if I know the kind of cries and the kind of emotions that were going on in that vehicle, it was very, very sad. Sisi onyem.
Bachan.
Akolani okay.
Bachan. Mako yi photo mo so okay.
Send our feelings here.
Feelings me kono na ye me.
We can now hear from the chairman or the acting chairman of Boko Bamboda station where the U-turn bus worked. He revealed the driver had overworked before that fateful trip, and he spoke to my colleague, Kojo Yankson.
Okay. It's my driver. The way I trust him, in fact, and the way we also work with each other, we don't have any problem with any, you don't have any problem with anybody in the whole station.
So he's a very good driver.
Master, I'm telling you the truth in the name of God.
Okay, now one of the passengers says that he was falling asleep.
Come again?
One of the passengers who survived the accident, she is telling us that the U-turn bus driver was sleeping. He was falling asleep.
That one I can't say no because what I'm saying that I can't say that one. I'm not inside the car, but I know his character.
So what will he normally do if he's driving and he's feeling sleepy? From what you know about his character, what does he do?
He will park and sleep.
Is that what he normally does?
Yes.
So at this accident happened at dawn. You are saying that he had already traveled once, brought some passengers, traveled again, and this was his third trip?
What I'm saying now, the way I'm respecting him, the way that I know that the way he's doing his work, it's not the driver that will go today. You see, sometimes somebody will leave Boku today. When he reach Kumasi today, tomorrow, she will load tomorrow again. Tomorrow next is here. He's the one photographer that we are talking about him. With university. When he load here and go, she will make almost 3 days or 4 days before coming back here.
I see. So
that is why I'm saying that I'm respecting him.
Okay, so you were saying that you wrote down the names of the passengers. So do you have the names of the passengers who were in this car?
Yes, I have the lady that who's coming from the the Savon Gari.